Come to my window. See that intersection a block north of me? It's 19th and Stevens Avenue South in Minneapolis, just south of downtown on Stevens Square. It's where we're going to have a press conference by Minneapolis city officials announcing one-sided parking restrictions to the end of the year. They've asked a fire truck to come into the intersection to show us how tough it is. It's trying to come off of 1st Avenue South here, down 19th Street to our intersection, and it can't make the turn. Look at how close its bumper is to the car. While waiting for another attempt, a neighbor asked me what's going on.
I live on this block too. What's it like to park here in the summer?
Oh, it's hectic.
Okay, now imagine half of it's gone. What's going to happen?
I couldn't even tell you. For real.
Do you drive?
I used to. It was hard to park your car here though. You know, so especially like during the evening.
Have you lived here for a few years?
About a year.
A couple of years ago, I saw a fire truck stuck at that corner for about a half hour that they couldn't get to make that turn. So, and they couldn't make that turn up there just now.
I told him that you
didn't even know that was there.
Well,
he couldn't come in off of
I figured that.
19th because there's a car parked down there. We never would have made that corner. Okay. And you could see down on 17th, we barely made that with the cars parked on the north side of the street there. We had to inch through that corner.
This is Captain Sean Smith from
ladder
11 at Station 6.
My name is Steve Kotke. I'm the Director of Public Works. And what I wanted to announce this afternoon is that we're going, starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're going to be putting a winter parking restriction in place. And the reason for this is we need to make sure that we can provide reliable access for our emergency vehicles, including, as you can see, the big fire truck that we have here. The reason we've been going to do this is we've gotten over 30 inches of snow this winter. And because we haven't had a lot of snow melt, we've had the prolonged cold, our streets are getting narrower and narrower as the snow builds up.
Right beside us here, trying to navigate making a turn. The straightaways are one thing. Coming down the narrow street is one thing. These big fire trucks have problems. As you saw, the turning radius, when you have cars parked, the streets are narrow, making those turns. And I know that for a fact because I drove for 19 years out of Station 6, and I drove these streets, and they're very, very difficult. Not only are they difficult to navigate, but once you get there, when we get there, when the streets are narrow, you got cars parked on both sides, it makes it tough for us to even get our tools and equipment off that we may need in either fire or an emergency. When they tried to come down this way, they didn't know that that car was down there. They had pre-planned that route. They didn't know that car was going to be there, changed everything. There was another car down another block, that changed it. And that will typically happen.
So the experienced drivers, I mean, luckily their experience tells them I shouldn't even try this street.
Yes.
And they go somewhere else. But that could mean a few extra minutes.
Yes.
Chief,
yes.
I've lived on this block for years. A year or two ago, a truck of yours tried to make a 90-degree turn right in this intersection and was then stuck for over a half hour, and it took other assets to come and get it.
Correct. I remember that. I think they had to have, Public Works had to have come and tow us out of that. We got stuck in the bank. I do remember that. You're right. Actually, I had to use fire trucks, other crews that tried to rock the rig, and we wound up getting some other city resources. And it took us out of service. We were actually back in service and got stuck trying to make that turn.
Were any of you guys at that incident a year or two ago when we stuck a truck right here? For about a half hour. Yeah. Tried to make a 90-degree turn.
That's the driver.
Oh, really? I live on this block, so I got to watch that.
Oh, yeah, to make it work?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, you didn't. It was good. Thanks. All right, off to the right.
This truck is 47 by 11 feet. It can make sharp turns, but it sticks out at both ends. All goes well on our spin around the neighborhood till we get back to Stevens Avenue South. Here we are at 17th Street. We're going to get really close to this tree and the car on the right. It looks like we're going to touch him. All three firemen on the right have to exit the cab and talk him through the turn over his headset.
Like if there was cars on this on the even side of the street now, we couldn't make this at all.
Oh, look where we are right now.
Oh, look at that tree.
Yeah, there's usually 3 cars. Yep. Two cars. You guys hear that? No, we got that right there. Come up.
Oh, no, you guys sit tight.
When you call an emergency, do you want the fire trucks to take the primary route or have to go around? These guys said they go around at least 6 times a day, and that doesn't count getting out of the cab to advise the driver on turns. Do you want the fire trucks to be able to use their outriggers when they get there so they can extend their ladders? And after standing right behind the driver today, I have new appreciation for how he got stuck. I bet his riders got out and even told him over the headset how to do it.
Engine 7B, engine 7A, your location.
Yes, one-sided parking will make already difficult parking worse. But the firemen and women of Minneapolis don't just fight the fire. They fight the winters here too. And I was convinced today that one-sided parking restrictions were necessary to the big thaw, or April Fool's Day, whichever comes first.